Well, hello and welcome to Q&A, to our next Q&A. And Dave and April will be coming home tomorrow. So they're sleeping right now in Athens and then head home. So that'll be great.
Athens, Greece, the capital of Greece.
Yes. And so...
And you know where Greece is? It's right by the Turkey. No, it's right by Turkey.
Greece the Turkey. So we're going to talk, Papa wants to talk about his bike trip. That he took from Salt Lake City to Quebec, Canada. Trois-Rivières.
Ooh, good pronunciation.
Is it? And it took him 1 month.
So I asked my boss, I said, if I want to go on a long bike trip, will you let me, this is in a grocery store where I was working. Yeah. I said, will you let me come back and work if I come back at the end of the summer? And I was a good worker, so he says, yes, of course we will. And so I'd saved a few $100s, and I'd already had a lot of short trips, and I knew what I could do every day. You know, and what I could do every day was around 100 miles.
That was going to be your average.
Yeah, it was going to be my average.
And it's 2,555 miles.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is the little small booklet. As you can see, it's not very thick, but this is the journal I kept. Every day I'd write in it.
He kept a journal, so he knows what happened. He remembers.
And at the back of here is a little. You have to go the opposite way you want to go when you look at this. On the back is a summary. It says, "At the end of each day, I scribbled down random thoughts in a small notebook. Perhaps the transition of ideas may not seem coherent, but this is because that was merely my state of mind each night, seconds before crawling into my sleeping bag. I slept outside and fading into quick unconsciousness."
So what month did you leave in? June?
I left in June.
Okay.
I'll tell you a little bit just about the first day. So this is Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is about 4,500 feet above sea level, 4,500. So we're a high desert, and but my very first day I had to climb up and go over a mountain pass, which was 7,000 feet. That's Parley's Canyon. And
steepest mountain your whole trip, wasn't it?
Steepest mountain of my whole trip. And my backpack, I had a lot of stuff to fix tires with, and extra clothing, or just clothing, underwear, chains, stuff like that. And
tire change.
Oh, tire changes. I had two extra tires that I doubled up and folded up, and some extra, and a pump and everything. And I always took I had enough water or liquid so I could go at least 60 miles without stopping anywhere.
A radio, and a map.
And I did have, thank you. You are getting to be quite handy. So I always had a map because I had to plan the following day someplace within 60 miles, around 60 miles. No, actually...
You had those old paper maps. I don't know if people know what those are anymore.
Yeah, I usually get them at gas stations.
Gas stations, yeah.
So I'll tell you...
Comment below if you remember the old paper maps.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you about my very first day going up Parley's Canyon. Parley's Canyon is the name of the Interstate 80 that goes clear back to New York. I ended up in Nebraska going north because I wanted to avoid...
On the first day?
No, later on.
Oh.
Yeah, usually about the third or fourth day, I started cutting north to go into Canada over the Great Lakes. And so that first day, and I'd been up that steep climb up to 7,000 feet. I'd done that several times, but I never had a heavy backpack. But this time, my total pack was probably 40 to 50 pounds.
And you had a sleeping bag rolled on the back,
and I had a mummy sleeping bag. That's just a small feather sleeping bag that didn't weigh that much, but still that was so I could sleep outside. Because I couldn't stay in hotels, and I didn't want to sleep in a hotel. Well, it's too expensive for a whole month.
That cost too much.
Yeah, so that first day, a few days before I was due to leave on my trip. It was the first part of June. I got a cold and a cough. And I was coughing a lot. But I was so excited to leave. I said, I don't care if I'm sick or not. I am leaving on that day. And so I did leave on the day I wanted to leave on. And I was the slowest I'd ever going up to the mountain pass. And let's say in the summertime it's kind of steep, and you'll see cars overheating just going up there.
So steep, yeah.
Yeah, and they'd be they would pull a little.
They have runways for trucks when you're coming down because it's so steep. Because they
have something called runaway truck lane. That means if they're riding their brakes and the brakes heat up, the brakes quit working and they go into kind of a gravel pit. But anyway, that's where I had to go up. So I got up. I went to an all-night cafe. And got there about 5 in the morning, 5 or 6 in the morning. It wasn't quite daylight yet. And then I filled up as much as I could because I knew I'd just burn up the calories a lot. And so, my breakfast was always bacon, hash browns,
it's a big breakfast.
Orange juice, something to fill up quite a bit.
Eggs, probably.
Yeah, eggs, always eggs. Anyway, so believe it or not, after 3 to 4 hours, I was way hungry again because I burned up all the calories from the breakfast.
Riding your bike.
And I was ready to have another full meal. Yeah, I was ready to have another full. At 9 o'clock, I filled up again, and I wasn't hungry till 12 for another 3 or 4 hours again. But let's say with my extra weight of my pack, I was way slower than I thought I would. So I got about 80 miles up to Evanston, Wyoming. That would be my first stop. Only 80 something miles that first day. And I didn't mind that because it was all uphill.
Well, when you would pedal, you'd pedal and stop. Pedal. That's how steep it was.
Yeah.
You had to pedal to keep moving. You would actually stop.
Well, no, I wasn't on that steep of a mountain at that time.
Oh, that time.
Yeah. It was when I was going over part of the Rockies in Laramie, Wyoming. Where
I thought it was Parley's.
No, it wasn't Parley's. Anyway, I got about 40 miles. I misjudged how much water to take with me just because I was going way slower than I was going to go. And then I was about 20 miles outside of Evanston, Wyoming. And I did not... This is
still your first day?
Still my first day. And I'm way more tired, and I'm coughing. I still have my cold, and I'm coughing.
And didn't your ankle swell up?
No, that was later.
Much
later, yeah.
Okay.
So when I was about 10 miles outside of, I just had to slow down to a crawl, and I'd start resting more often, like literally stop my bike and sit on a rock for maybe 3 to 5 minutes. So I just had to start resting because my strength was giving out. And I remember probably when I'm about 8 or 9 miles out of Evanston, Wyoming, I run out of water. And by that time, it's towards noon, and it's very hot out. And all there's cars whizzing by, and there's cow pastures. And I still remember, I thought to myself, I could run out and flag a car down. Help, help, I need water. But it just didn't seem like what something I was going to do. But I looked over at the cows, and I thought, those cows are drinking something over there. So I climbed the fence, parked my bike on some grass there, and I climbed over the fence, and they had a little creek was running. Watering creek was running
up
down.
In the mountain,
yeah.
From the mountains.
And the cows were drinking out of that. And I just thought, the water must be good because the cows would be dying or they'd be sick, and they look pretty healthy. And cows always, when I'd pass them, they just slowly look up like that, like, what are you doing?
So you went out there and drank out of the
I
creek?
drank out of there, and I filled up my. So that was my first. That was my first day. How's our time doing?
I don't know.
It's only 3 minutes.
Well, I've stopped the camera a few times.
Oh, okay. So I got up there, and I was very weak and very sick, and I have to walk.
You got up to where?
Evanston, Wyoming.
Evanston. Wow.
I remember.
That's 80 miles.
I remember there was a place called Echo, or something, and it was the last stop before you get to Evanston, Wyoming. But see, when you've been on the road that long, and it took about 12 hours of riding, and that was way too long for what I was used to. I wasn't used to that. And actually, with the wind blowing in your face and sweating, your hair is all caked up with salt, you know, just drying in there, and your face looks, well, you're sunburnt and you're tired and you look terrible.
So you made it to Evanston,
yeah,
and then
so,
what happened?
Well, then I had to wash up because I have to go to bed, and I can't go to bed like that because I do have eczema, and that would have really got bad. So my plan became what I did every night after, you know, getting to my destination. I went to the nearest gas station, and I parked and I just said to him, "Can I use your restroom?" And of course they let me because I'm on a bike and I look pretty innocent.
Yeah.
And I had soap with me. I think I had just maybe mini towels and stuff.
She just kind of did.
So I literally splashed it all over me. I soaped my hair. I was making a mess of the bathroom. By mess, I mean just water everywhere. But they have drains.
Drains, yeah.
So I'm in there for quite a while. And I think after they opened it, you know, he took the key back because he didn't give me the key. And so...
Cleaned up, and then where'd you go to sleep?
But I imagine when he saw the bathroom, he says, "What did he do? Have a bath in here or something?"
I did have a bath. Okay, now you got to find a place to sleep and eat.
No, I got a place to eat.
Eat and then sleep.
But let's say I was so sick from my cold and my cough.
Oh yeah, you're cold.
That took my. So I was more thirsty and dehydrated than anything.
Not much of an
I was
appetite.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
So I got some soda pop and a huge milkshake and everything, and that's all I had to eat that night.
Where'd you sleep?
I thought it'd be, I was a little bit worried about, I don't know, just some people stopping me and beating me up or something.
A little scared the first night.
I looked up where the closest Mormon church was.
Oh, okay.
And I found the Mormon church, and I said, that's a nice, safe place to sleep. I'll just go back there. And so I got there about 5 or 6 in the evening.
You ready for bed?
Yes, I was ready for bed. So I parked my bike at the side of the church outside, and then I noticed a few lights coming on in the church, and I thought, oh, something going on there tonight.
Party, yeah.
No, it was a wedding going on.
Oh, wedding.
And so people in tuxedos walking with their girlfriend or something in pretty dresses are walking by me and I'm in my sleeping bag.
Could they see you?
Oh yes, they walked right by me. But I was too tired to go.
To care, yeah.
I guess I could have said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm just spending the night here, so
I'm very tired. I'm going to sleep."
But I did fall asleep, and eventually the wedding was over, and
nobody said anything.
But later on in my trip, it was too much work to find a Mormon church. The
further east you got, the less churches there were. But there were plenty in Utah.
Exactly, and I would look for a park because a park had, and I started just sleeping in the grass. But sometimes, still part of the Rocky Mountains, it might be raining just a little bit, and I didn't want to have to get up, move my bike, move my sleeping bag and everything, because that's about a 20-minute to half-hour folding everything up on my bike to move. So I chose the cement floor
pavilions.
But it was But even though it was a hard cement floor, I still fell asleep.
Who gave you cough syrup?
Oh, that was when I was in Rawlins, Wyoming.
Oh, you
so
still had your cold?
It was 2 days after that because my next stop was Green River, Wyoming, and then Rawlins. In Rawlins, I ran into some Mormons there, and they invited me to sleep at their house. But I was still coughing on the third day. But it didn't take away from my excitement to be on the trip. I was still there.
And so
I said, you know, I usually didn't like to sleep at people's houses because they wanted to talk, and I just
go on bike rides.
Well, that's another stop.
That's another stop. Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't want to start talking because they usually talk about themselves, and they just blah blah blah.
So you went to bed.
So anyway, just before I went to bed, there was a teenage girl that was the daughter that lived there.
On the third night. Your third.
Third night. And this is in Rawlins, Wyoming. So she brought me a lunch, and she brought me down some cough syrup.
Oh, good.
And I thought how nice of her to do that.
Yeah, it was very
cough
nice.
syrup made it so I could get to sleep, and the lunch was so I just have that for breakfast the next morning.
So we're going to leave you in Rawlins, Wyoming, and we'll talk more about his bike trip next week. And let's see, where's our quotes? We're going to close with a couple of quotes.
Wait, I want to show them this. See in my book, that's how my bike packs were. And this one especially. Look at that one. See, I had something in the back, and except I had something on the front too, my front backpack. Okay.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close a couple of quotes. We'll just
give me a comment if you want.
It'll take him a couple of videos to tell about it. Some of the adventures.
I haven't got to the.
Yeah, this is just day one.
The tornado watch.
Tornado and the bears.
And the bears in Canada and
the guy on the horse that was. You heard about a lot.
They kept saying,
the haunted house.
Oh, the haunted house.
And the dog. No, that wasn't the dog.
Yeah,
dogs.
They were guard dogs over a lumber camp.
Yeah.
And it was a husky and a German shepherd.
So we'll continue on.
And if they're closing in on you, I'll have to tell you how. Yeah,
so we've got some more adventures to tell about his bike. Oh, and the policeman that told you to get off the freeway.
And a cop pulled me over in Nebraska.
And Joe says, you can't.
No, he said, well, first he pulled up behind me and I didn't stop. I kept riding because a lot of people kind of...
Yeah.
And so he puts his siren on, and I thought, this is so stupid. I'm way over, not even in the middle of the road. I'm on the emergency lane. And he puts his siren on for me to stop. So I stop, and then I wait for him to come up. And I guess it was way hot outside. So I guess he said, come back here to my police car. I don't want to get out.
And you liked getting in there because it was air conditioned.
Yeah. But anyway, my first question is, why are you riding a bike on a freeway, interstate I-80? And my answer was, for the same reason these cars are on it. They make better time. And he goes, oh.
Okay, so we'll go. And then he makes you go back.
Wait, do you want to give it away?
Oh yeah, we'll continue that on another time. Okay, so let's close a couple of quotes, and that for those that didn't know, Davey and April are going to have our another baby number 6 for them, number 28 for us. So we got to hang number 28 frame back up again, and we'll go ahead and close with a couple of quotes. Let's see. Age is just a number, and the beauty of a woman with passing years only grows.
Wait a minute, the beauty of a woman with passing years.
So the older she gets, the better she looks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'll have to think
Audrey
about
Hepburn.
that.
Okay, you go ahead and give a quote.
Age is just a number. Gave me a flashback Roseanne found out I was 16 years older than her.
Well, when we first met, he told me he was 27. He was really 34 because he didn't think we were gonna date again. And when he told me, he says, I'm not really 27. I go, how old are you? He goes, I'm 34. And I go, you're still
No,
Joe.
you went quiet for a second.
I went quiet. You're still Joe.
I thought you said age is just a number.
It is. It's just a number. Well, thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, and make sure you look for the rose. And good night, everybody.
If I don't get any comments on this, it means...
You will.
Oh, I will?
Oh, and good night, everybody.
Good night.